So you're all incredibly welcome. You're very, very welcome to Lisbon. So my name is Paddy Cosgrave. Just over 7 years ago, I started organizing a very tiny event to bring together just the people involved in startups in Dublin at the time, which was an incredibly small number of people. And it's quite thrilling, actually, that the very, very first tiny event I organized that 31 people showed up to, Tim Draper, who's sitting at the very front of the room, spoke at. So I'd love to welcome Tim back, finally, to Web Summit after all these years. So almost every year for the last 7 years, I'd speak to Tim and I'd say, Tim, you got to come back. It's got bigger. And he's like, oh, I don't really know. It was quite an intimate audience. And even last year, I was like, Tim, no, please, it's really actually Web Summit's got a lot bigger. Lots of people are complaining that it's just got so big. Like, it is really big. But finally, he's come back. So it's very, very thrilling, and he's going to speak in a few moments. Venture is organized by Declan Kelly and his incredible team. Today, there are about 500 leading investors from all over the world. In total, we have about 1,500 accredited investors. There are many thousands of others who try and book investor badges, but we mostly revoke their badges. I guess it's something. There's just a tremendous amount of investors in the world, and we try and keep the quality high. The reason that we do that is over the course of this year, just over 100,000 startups applied to be part of 4 programs that we run inside of Web Summit. There are about 2,100 of those startups that we've selected. They get divided into 4 stages of maturity, and then even within each of those stages, they then get divided into about 22 different industry categories. Working with Crunchbase, we can show that over the last 3 years, so the last 3 cohorts of our alumni, roughly about 10 billion gets invested into those companies in the following 12 months. Some of them are quite scaled up companies, some of them are very, very small. But you're looking at about a third of all of the early stage startups that are exhibiting over the previous 3 years have been invested in within 12 months by an attending investor. You know, this year, if we keep with our batting average, you're looking at between 600 and 700 startups of the earliest stage startups that are exhibiting at Web Summit will be invested in by attending investors. In total, over the last 4 years, about 50 billion has been invested into our alumni group. Some of that gets invested after 12 months, and that's excluding some of the larger outliers like Diddy or Uber and a number of other significant outliers. There's a huge amount of activity. We've got quite a large number of teams that dedicate their year to finding great startups. And we rely to a high degree on the network of existing investors that we have that make all sorts of fantastic referrals. And I know a lot of you are actively involved in helping us sift out some of the best companies and also sideline some of the companies with maybe less of a chance. And overall, that creates an incredibly vibrant ecosystem. And hopefully over the coming 3 or 4 days, you'll get to enjoy each other's company, and you'll also get an opportunity to hear from some great people and hopefully interact with some interesting companies as well. So that's really it. You're going to have a great time. Today's going to be fantastic. Tonight will be wonderful as well. This is our 2nd year in Portugal. Last year was fantastic. We couldn't make it what it is without the incredible support of the city of Lisbon, of all of Portugal, and in particular of the Prime Minister and his wonderful cabinet, who are so actively involved in helping build and create Web Summit. So I'd love you to put your hands together and welcome the Prime Minister of Portugal to the stage.